Hey, what's up? What's up? Welcome back to Sherial's Network Live, where we bring you tips, ideas, and strategies on taking your business to many levels above. And today I have in the studio with me Mr. Verner Dixon.
Hey, everybody.
So, Verner, we have been friends for a long time. Probably at least 10 years, I'd say.
I say since the turn of the century.
Oh, that long. Well, let's find out, who is Verner Dixon? I mean, you wear many hats. You used to come to my networking events when presenting businesses. And
Who am I?
Who are you?
Who am I?
How many kids do you have?
I'm a chameleon, and I don't have any kids. All of my kids are grown. They're old. I got old people.
They're still your kids.
Yeah, I got.
And you got grandkids? How many grandkids?
I got 3 old people, and they have produced. I call them 5 3/4 grandkids because one of my son's wife is expecting end of this. End of this month, as a matter of fact, the last week of this month.
So that would be how many
grandchildren?
That'll be 6. 6.
That'll be 6.
Well, you haven't beat me. I have 7.
You're 7?
Yes, I'm 7.
Well, I'll keep pounding on them to somebody to come through on the other side.
Grandkids are great.
The grandkids are absolutely great. It's one of those things where I said, to my kids, I screwed you guys up, but we're going to really do hard work to get the grandkids to love
We're going to make sure that the grandkids have it right.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I mean, and there's a lot of opportunities to have gotten some practice too, because I'm the oldest of 16.
Oh my goodness!
And so there's 8 boys and 8 girls. At least I've lost 2 brothers over the years, but the rest of my sisters and brothers are still here, all in Las Vegas. We were all born and raised in Las Vegas.
Oh wow, really? Huh?
Yep, that was when Las Vegas had rabbits with horns a long time ago, tumbleweeds.
Rabbits with horns,
I mean, I call them jackalopes.
The strip was full of tumbleweeds.
Strip was full of tumbleweeds. As a matter of fact,
that goes back a ways.
It does. When most of the roads here were dirt roads. I mean, I was born and raised here, like I said, with the rest of my brothers and sisters, and we have a large family, and I have a cousin that has a large family. We had 16. He had 13. But we always say that he cheated because he had 2 sets of twins.
Oh.
But that's okay. Being the oldest, I guess, forced me into taking on some responsibilities for others, as it were. I didn't know that growing up, because all I felt growing up was to run away because it was too many people.
Too many people, yeah.
I mean, people joke about having large families, and I ask them how many they have, and they say, well, I had 7. And I say, well, I had 7 in my bed. So it was a different kind of a feeling. But again, growing up, and my mother and father, who were still alive, by the way. Dad just turned 90. Mom is 89.
That's awesome.
And so they're still kicking. We meet over there almost a lot of the kids meet over there every Sunday to have dinner and kind of get together. I go every once in a while to make sure that my parents are okay. But it's a very active environment, and I think that's where I got my training to get involved with people and kind of understand the dynamics of working with people. And providing the support and the kind of thing that I do now, which I've been in sales since I was 11 or 12 years old. And I love what I do. People ask me about retiring. I mean, the only thing that I've done in terms of retiring is not be an employee of one company.
Be your own boss.
Be my own boss. I mean, so from that perspective, I've retired from that industry.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
I run my own life. That's an important thing. So it's really good.
Freedom.
Yes. And that's what it is. I get up every morning with not having to worry about doing the same thing, because I'm working on different projects, and so every day is a different day. And so that's exciting. That's I think what keeps me motivated in order to get up.
Keeps you young as well.
And I think so. In addition to that formaldehyde that I sprinkle on my face to kind of keep things going, but I think that gives me purpose and a direction to help as many people as I possibly can in the areas that I have the expertise in. And those are in technology, and now over the last three years or so, has been in cryptocurrency. But it's all technology related. Even in the cryptocurrency environment, it's about the technology. It's about the blockchain. But I just enjoy life. I mean, and that's the whole thing. I enjoy my grandkids, and I try to see them. I've got 2 here in Las Vegas. I've got 2 in San Francisco. The oldest ones are in San Francisco. And I've got that 1 3/4 in San Diego. So I try to take trips to visit them and do what I need to do to have my grandkids remember me.
Of course, that's important.
Like I say about my kids, I don't worry about seeing them. It's the grandkids.
It's the
grandkids,
yeah.
and
awesome.
and making sure that you're helping to develop a legacy, so to speak. And so it's been an adventure. And I anticipate being around for a little bit longer and participating in this thing that we call life and continuing that to grow. So again, I knew you before I started having grandkids. My kids were still teenagers.
That's a long time.
That was a long time because now, my oldest one is 40. So. And so, like I said, that's why I call them old people. You know, when you get to the point where you start talking about, for instance, my age, and when you're talking to your parents and you find yourself talking about your aches and pains and the medication you take, talking on an equal level with your parents, that's one level. But then when your kids come to you and start talking about aches and pains and medication, then that's another level.
That's another level. Yeah, you don't really want that other level.
You don't want that other level. The first one's okay, but the other one is not.
Yeah.
But I still continue to try to learn new things, keep what's left of this mush up here active and involved in different things, and that's why I am continuing to learn new things in terms of the industry and continue to develop my relationships with some of the companies that I've become consultant for and looking at their technology and bringing that out as well. I'm into television, OTT kind of stuff, still into technology, working with data center, working with another technology company that provides cloud services and Docker containers, you know, and so I just, every day is different. I just love getting up in the morning. Every day is different. And my schedule is my schedule. And that's what makes it so nice as well. And with the things that I'm doing, people are always talking about, I mean, I'm involved in so many things that they're saying, you know, talking about being involved in a lot of things, you end up being a master of none. But they're all in technology, so I haven't had to change fields.
So you become an expert in many.
In the many areas related to technology. And so, again, it's about enjoying life. If you get up in the morning and you hate getting up in the morning because you have to go to work, then you're in the wrong business. You're in the wrong field. You need to do something else. You need to look at your life and understand what direction it's going in and make that change, because, as I've indicated before, when you leave this world, when you take your last breath, you need to be able to say, I have no regrets. And that's what I'm working on, is having no further regrets. I do have some that I can't change because they are what they are.
They are what they are.
Yeah, but I tell my kids the same thing. You know, live life, do your thing, and have no regrets. And so they seem to be following along those lines. They're great kids.
That's great.
They really are great kids. My ex-wife raised them well.
I'm sure you had a hand.
Well, I mean, I had some issue with it. I mean, there was a time when I was in sales and I used to travel, and the joke around the house is when I came home on the weekends or every couple of weekends or whatever, I come home and they say, "Mom, that man's here again." So it got to be a joke. And living out of a suitcase, on the one hand, it's exciting to get started. But when that becomes an ongoing rote kind of a thing, living out of a suitcase is too much.
Yeah.
And so I've experienced that. But I've been around long enough to have experienced a lot of things. And for those of you who don't know how old I am, I used to say I'm the the first in my family as opposed to the oldest in my family. But I'll be 72 this year.
And, oh my goodness, you certainly don't look that.
Again, it's that formaldehyde.
Exactly. And a few other things you do.
Well,
it has a lot to do with your mindset.
It does. It really does, because I try to laugh a lot. I try to be jovial. I try to be happy around other people as well. And I think, I just tell people, it takes fewer muscles to smile than it does to frown.
It does. That's
and
right.
Frowning leaves marks on your face. It leaves wrinkles.
Causes wrinkles.
You experience that thing on your face, and if you, any way possible, don't need to do that, then don't do it. But again, that's about living your life to the fullest and enjoying your life where you are. You look at today and you pick today as the beginning of the rest of your life, and every day can be looked at that same way, because you have to start over each and every day. Make that start a positive, happy day to start living that life. So.
And that's a great statement to end this interview. And that's Verner Dixon.
Thank you.
Always a very positive, outgoing, happy man that will bring you inspiration. So thanks so much for being here.
You're quite welcome. I'm glad I was here, and thank you so much for inviting me.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us, and we will be back another time. Hey, what's up? Thanks so much for joining us here at Sherial's Network Live, where we bring you tips, ideas, and strategies to take your business to many levels above. And thank you, Verner, for joining me in the studio today.
Thank you again. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Verner Dixon with VM Enterprise. And you are the expert on this thing that we hear so much about, this Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, that whole topic that's all over on Facebook, social media, probably in the news as well.
Any place that you can think of, CNBC, on the regular news. They just had a program on the other night about a strip club taking Bitcoin for lap dancing.
Oh my!
So, and that's here in Las
Vegas.
So Bitcoin is big.
So you can do. Oh wow! That's very good. Yes.
And that was on the 8 o'clock
news.
We'll
have to tell our friends. Get your lap dance with your Bitcoin card. Yep.
It may even take Ethereum tomorrow, but but it's all good.
So what's happening with it?
Well, I mean, I guess everybody is in this what we call fear, uncertainty, and doubt mode, which is understandable, considering one of the prognosticators had indicated that a lot of people will be coming on when Bitcoin gets to be $1,000, and then a lot more would really be coming on when it gets to be $10,000, and that's exactly what happened. Everybody rushed to the market because they thought they were going to miss the opportunity to get involved in Bitcoin. When the SEC and the Futures Board started looking at futures trading and some of the other things in terms of trying to protect people because they're jumping onto these ICOs, some of the ICOs are good, which is initial coin offerings, which is equivalent to an IPO, initial public offering. Some of those are good, and some of them are basically schemes. And so a lot of people were losing their funds to do that.
How does one know which is the scheme and which isn't?
I just tell everybody to do their homework, understand what the product, what the company, what the ICO is based on. If there's a technology or if there's an application that is needed by the industry or needed by the public in general, then there's a possibility that's a good basis to really research it a little bit more. But there was one provider of an ICO. He just wanted to see what would happen if he announced an ICO and said it has no intrinsic value, has no value. And he raised $500 million on a token that was worth nothing. So that's how people are not paying attention. They're not educating themselves, and they're jumping on this thing because they want to make the big bucks. This is not a big bucks time period unless you got big bucks to start. For the rest of us little guys who jumped in, or some of the ones who jumped in when Bitcoin was at $10,000 and $20,000, you did it. I don't know if you know it or not, but it did go to $20,000.
How much is it now?
It's right now is $8,200 and some odd dollars, because it has dropped down. It had dropped down to as low as $6,000. The reason for that, again, is the fear, uncertainty, and doubt in terms of what the regulators were going to do. That meeting was had 2 days ago, Tuesday or Wednesday. That meeting was held. The SEC and the Futures Board are positive about cryptocurrency. So you're going to see the market change, because that's what everybody was worried about. They're saying this is a good technology. It's too ingrained in everybody to stop it. And so they said, rather than stop it, rather than get in the way of it, they're proponents of cryptocurrency, but they just want to make sure that it's properly regulated. And meaning that they don't want these people jumping into things unless the ICO is a good ICO. And the SEC will be looking at all of the ICOs and determine whether they're securities, whether they're a fraud situation, or whatever. But again, it goes back to people doing their homework. Do your homework. Understand what you're getting involved in. But I also say now is an excellent time to get involved in cryptocurrency, because all of the currencies are low right now. They're less than 50% of what they have been over the last few months, some of them even lower than that. But they began, once that meeting was over and the SEC came out and said that they're pro-cryptocurrency in essence, but they want to regulate it, it's starting to go back up. So now again is the time, if you've got an opportunity or if you're thinking about getting involved, do your homework, get involved, talk to somebody who's involved and who knows what's going on, and still do your own homework.
And so do you still have local meetings where people can come and get educated about the whole process?
Yes, I have those meetings every Thursday here in Las Vegas at 8170 West Sahara, Suite 207. That's every Thursday at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. So if you're interested in finding out what's going on with cryptocurrency and the offerings that I'm involved in, then you can attend that meeting. So,
and they also could just give you a phone call.
They can give me a phone call or send me an email. That would be great. My number is 702-580-9397. That's Verner Dixon, 702-580-9397. And if you call, and if I'm not able to take your call at the time, leave a message. Please leave a message, because I do get a lot of calls, and I can't go through everybody's when they haven't left a message, and I don't know what the call is about. But you can also reach me via email. It's vmeonline7@gmail.com. That's vmeonline7@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for bringing us up to date on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and the strip club is even taking it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want to make sure people know that, right? So if that's happening, it's going to be everywhere.
It's going to be everywhere.
It's going to be everywhere.
Right.
And so people are just going to have to accept the fact that Bitcoin is here to stay.
Here to stay.
And it's big business.
Yes.
So thanks again for joining me.
You're welcome, and thank you. And thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for joining us here at Sheryl's Network Live. We'll see you next time.